an extra field goal, but it's going to get ugly real bad.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think you guys kind of just nailed it here. There's really not much more to say. I mean, that hasn't been covered big time in the media already. Obviously, this Dallas Cowboys team, they've been, frankly, just kind of laughable, if I'm being honest. This is a team that has all that talent. They go and get a new coach in Mike McCarthy, who kind of displays all the same symptoms of the illness that was their last coach. But yeah, again, we can make all those jokes all we want. We can say how terrible Cowboys are. We can do all of that. We can say how they're one ridiculously bad Falcons special teams play away from being 0-4 this year. Yeah. But the Giants are a really bad football team. And I'm going to contradict myself because earlier I said there's this little thing in my brain that goes, they can't go 0-5, right? And I said that's a fallacy because they certainly could. I just don't think it happens here, and I think the Cowboys give it to the Giants here.
Yeah, but is it a coaching problem or is it a GM problem? I think I slightly addressed. I think the Cowboys have a serious GM problem, and they have to look internally and figure out what they're doing.
I think that defense. I think you might be right. That defense is historically bad, but nothing from Mike McCarthy screamed to me that he had any kind of answers on any ways to look. Your defense is that bad. How do you combat that? Right? I think you've got to run the ball. They don't give the ball to Zeke enough, especially.
I agree.
Early in the game. There's no reason
paying them all that money.
They're down early. I get it. They're down early. They got to throw late in the game to try to catch up. But you got to feed them early. If your defense is that bad, keep them off the field. Grind out games.
No, that could help. But all of their first round picks are on offense. You got to put some on defense.
Yeah, I don't disagree, man. It's a tough situation there, but I think the Giants
defense get a first round pick.
I
get it.
That defense is terrible. But Dak is awesome, and they gotta blow them out. They got to, they just have to. They got an option.
Yeah.
All right, next game on the slate here, man. I think this game got potential to be game of the week here. Indianapolis traveling to Cleveland, take on the Browns. Cleveland 3-1. Indy 3-1, and it's more surprising Cleveland after such a terrible start to the season, getting blown out by Baltimore and only scoring 6 points. But they scored fucking 50 last week against Dallas, which, I mean, hey, it's Dallas defense. They're shitty, but still, that's very impressive. And it looks like Stefanski has finally figured out, stop letting Baker throw so damn much and give the ball to your fucking running back because they're uber talented. Yeah. Right now, the Colts are the favorites, -1, and over-under is 47.5. I'm going to make my pick quick on this one, guys. I like Cleveland in this game. I honestly like Cleveland. Indianapolis has played great. Phillip Rivers has bought into the Reich system, and he's not the Phillip Rivers of old where he's just going to chuck it 50 times a game and throw 3 interceptions and 3 touchdowns. So they're running the ball. They're playing really good defense. However, I think this Cleveland's team has found their identity. They know who they are. Kareem Hunt is officially future guest of the show, by the way. He is officially the starting running back, and with the injury to Chubb, and offensive line is an elite offensive line, especially run blocking. And I think they just kind of churn away and wear down this Indianapolis Colts team. And I'm gonna go Cleveland on this one. Give me a score. I think they can get 28, and I'll give the Colts. I give them 20.
Yeah, I like all of that. I definitely like how you guys have recognized and Stefanski has recognized what the strength of this team is and what they need to do in order to win, and that's run the ball. Right now, it hurts that they lost Chubb, but I don't think that changes what they do here on out. I think they continue to run the ball. It's just 100% Kareem Hunt instead of 50-50 Chubb Hunt. Right. I think they incorporate ODB or OBJ, how they've been doing, end arounds, just trying to get him the ball any way possible and utilize his talent any way that they can. And I think the last couple of weeks they've been figuring it out. Most important, do not put the ball in Baker's hands when it counts. He's not a bad quarterback, but he is very streaky, and I think you need to kind of put a ceiling on what he does. Yeah. And I think if you control what he does, I think Cleveland could easily win 8, 9, 10 games this year. I think they're going to – I'm not sold on Phillip Rivers as much as I've been hearing from other people. watch him play, and I'm like, yeah, this is his last year. They had some talent out of the backfield despite losing Marlon Mack. I still think they have talent there. Despite losing that slot receiver, they still have some talent in the wide receiver position. But I think you see. I think this is another example of a team going one direction and a team going another in the opposite direction. I think you see Cleveland winning 35-38. Easily. And I think the Colts put up 10 or 13. I really think this is the week that we see, the Colts, they're not a playoff team, but Cleveland may be.
I love that analysis, Vinny. I really do. The only real difference that I see there is that I think that they're both playoff teams, and not necessarily on the strength of Indy, but I think that division is weak. I think besides the NFC East, that's the weakest division in football. I don't think Tennessee, who's also all kinds of COVID-19 beat up, I don't know that I trust in that team. And Ryan Tannehill, again, that might be going back to my jaded Miami Dolphins days with him, but I don't know that they're probably, to me, the weakest undefeated team left, and I think the Colts could win that division. So I agree with everything that everybody said. It's nothing that I haven't said before as well. Cleveland getting a point at home, are you kidding me? This is a no-brainer to me. I think that the Cleveland Browns have figured out who they are. I think they're definitely a playoff team this year, and I could see this one getting out of hand, especially if Cleveland can, like you said, keep the ball out of Baker's hands and not turn the ball over. If Cleveland doesn't turn the ball over here, I think they could win handily. Give me them 30-14.
Okay. All right, guys, 3 more games. Let's bring it in strong. Next game here, we got the Sunday nighter. Minnesota Vikings traveling to Seattle to take on Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks, of course, our favorites, -7. Over under is 57. Reuter, this is your team right here. You want to go ahead and take this?
Okay. I'm gonna minorly take exception with the "this is my team" stuff, but again, without fail, you knew what I was doing this week. If for no other reason to keep the streak alive, I'm going with Minnesota here. I don't know that they win this game, but let me give you a little bit of history on the Seattle Seahawks team. The Seahawks team, it's very exciting. It's very easy to see how good DK Metcalf looks. It's easy to see how good Lockett looks. It's easy to see how MVP candidate Russell Wilson looks. But this team cannot play defense, okay? And that's going to keep Minnesota in this game. Vinny already alluded to the fact that they've got Justin Jefferson, who I called was going to have a big game the other day for me to help win me that game against the spread. And I think he's going to do well again this week against a Seattle Seahawks team that can generate no pass rush whatsoever. Taking a look at their scores this year, obviously we've talked about just the absolutely inept Falcons. They did beat them by 13, but the rest of the games against the Patriots, the Cowboys, who are much maligned right now, and the Dolphins, who I've already said are fucking terrible, right? Those are all one-score games. I think that the Vikings are a better team than the Cowboys and the Dolphins easily. I think they keep it close. They may lose the game because I like, going down the stretch late in the game, although it is primetime Kirk. In his last game, prime time, he did pull out the victory, so he maybe turned the luck around a little bit there. I think the Vikings cover the spread, and I'm still going to go with the Seahawks here. I'm going to say, 34-30, but give me the Vikings with the points. You like that?
No. I don't at all. Real quick. So you just mentioned that he won his last primetime game. And do you want to know what his primetime record was before that?
Before that?
Yeah.
Probably 0-6.
No, he was actually 7-15-1. And then that game made him 8-15-1. Okay.
There it is.
So he got a game. He won a game. You know how I feel about Kirk Cousins. I am not a Kirk Cousins guy. However, I will say I think that they will be able to move the ball in the Seattle defense just like everybody else has. I love the over on this game. I think this can definitely be a shootout. And as much as I don't like Kirk Cousins, I think the score that you had just mentioned, Reuter, I think it could definitely get up there just like that. I'm going to go with the MVP of the league right now, Russell Wilson, and winning this game. I think they can fucking put up 40 at any point in time. I think this is going to be one of those games where they kind of do that. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks. I'm going to go with the score of, let's go 40. I'm going to give Minnesota 33. All right. I think Kirk Cousins throws a couple of touchdowns. Jefferson has looked really good. He's been arguably, I think he's been the best rookie receiver that so far this season. Dalvin Cook, awesome running back. We already know that. Thielen, awesome receiver as well. And Kirk Cousins, man, give me, like, I'm betting with you right now, man. I need you to score some points for me. Please don't turn back into primetime Kirk Cousins. Please battle with these boys, score some points. And yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, I would have to take Minnesota plus a 7. Try to buy it up 7.5. Definitely look at the over. Both of these defenses are just too bad, and both of these offenses are just too good. Russell Wilson is easily the MVP, bar none. End of story. DK Metcalf is. I think you're gonna, in 2-3 years, you'll be talking about DK Metcalf like we talk about Julio Jones. He's the best wide receiver in the league. They got Chris Carson. The dude's just a beast. And Dalvin Cook, I think is 2-3 years. I think right now he's going to be top 3 running back in the league. You talk about Zeke, you talk about CMC, but you talk about Saquon, but Dalvin Cook is right up there. The kid touches the ball and boom, he could score on you. Yeah. They are, and as much as you guys don't like, whatever his name is, right, from Washington, Cousins, he gets the ball to his wide receivers, and the wide receivers do work. So I think depending on what the refs do, like we said earlier in the episode with these offensive holdings, right? Because if they're loose, if they're not calling so many penalties, I think both teams move the ball easily, and I think you put a lot of points on the board, and I think it goes over. With the points, I gotta go with Minnesota plus 7, trying to get that hook 7.5.
Okay. All right, guys. Next game on the slate, we got our Monday nighter. LA Chargers traveling to New Orleans to take on the New Orleans Saints. Right now, Saints are -8. 50.5 is the over-under. Vinny, what are you thinking, sir?
Man, I just named 3 running backs, and I didn't name my favorite from Tennessee, Alvin Kamara. I think he is the most underrated running back in the league, and I just proved it to myself, right? I just said Dalvin Cook, CMC, Saquon, and I completely forgot about Alvin Kamara, who once he gets the ball in his hands, it's like God, R.I.P. Gale Sayers, he could score from any point, right? And I think that's what you get with Kamara. That's in my opinion. If Michael Thomas comes back, it makes it that much easier with Drew Brees. If he doesn't, I think it makes it that much harder. I love Herbert, mostly because he just throws to a bunch of dogs. Keenan Allen is just fucking nasty. Just go up and get it. Hey, you want some? Let's get some. And that's Keenan Allen. So I like Keenan Allen. This is a big number. New Orleans -8. They're at home. I'm not a big fan of Anthony Lynn, to be honest with you. After the when I look at a game, I look at the number. After the number, I look at coaching. Not a big Anthony Lynn fan. Herbert's still a rookie quarterback. They just lost Eckler. We'll see what that Justin Jackson could do. But that -8's a big number. Gun to my head, I still got to take the Saints. I think they have something to prove, and when teams have something to prove, I think that gives it to them, right? Just look. For example, look at the Spurs that second year after they lost to Miami Heat, they come back and they win it, right? Yeah. I think teams after they lose, they come back. I like teams that have a stick up their ass, so to speak. And I think the Saints are getting that. I think they're going to start putting together some wins.
Really?
This one was maybe looking up and down the list of games. This one was the toughest for me because if I was one of those Vegas guys that they counted on to make these spreads, I'd put it right about here. I mean, I look at this game and I think, Saints by a touchdown, and that's kind of exactly where we're at. I love everything that Vinny said about Kamara, especially the underrated part. I thought that was a pretty astute observation there, that you even underrated him yourself in your own commentary. So I can